Well, I only found out I was going to speak about 10 minutes ago. So this is a great opportunity. It's really exciting. They tell you when you're running for office, you're supposed to dress one level more formal everywhere you go. But I'm not here to talk to the guys in the suits. I'm here to talk to the students, because this is what's driving this movement right here. It's like Ron Paul said, right? If you're going to have a revolution, there's going to be youth and there's going to be music. And we got both this weekend. I'm just in town here for the Freedom Summit, freedomsummit.com, being put on by Freedom's Phoenix. So it's a great opportunity to be able to address this crowd as well. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Adam Kokesh. I joined the Marines in 1999. I volunteered when I was 17, and I considered myself a libertarian then in the intellectual sense, because it's really easy. You know, you could have called me a conservative. And it's really easy to look at the world and go, wow, you know, things really work better when people aren't killing each other in large numbers. Things really work better when people are allowed to decide for themselves what they put in their own bodies. Things just work better when you have the freedom to own property. You have the freedom to exchange it with other people, because that is the basis of a free society. That is the source of prosperity in the world. So it's easy to get to that point. Anybody with a halfway open mind can come to those conclusions, can see that over the history of mankind, any attempt to oppress, any attempt to enslave, any attempt to take away the basic human right to self-ownership, the basic right to freedom, has been to the detriment of peace, freedom, prosperity, and basic human happiness. And that's really easy, but there was something about my experience in Iraq that changed things for me. Because, like I said, I was intellectually engaged. But there's something, what we talk about in politics, when we talk about all these issues, from no matter how mundane they are. I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, if you're talking about the Federal Reserve or defense of marriage or legalizing drugs or just, you know, little economic policy or the overnight lending rate. You know, I mean, all these little technicalities of government, you know, and they've presented it in such a way. It's been presented to us in such a way in our lifetimes that they don't want you to care. They want it to be esoteric. They want it to be something you don't understand. You know, like about monetary policy specifically, Henry Ford said, "It is good and well that the people of this nation do not understand our monetary policy, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning."
Yeah!
And it may not be done by tomorrow morning, but people are waking up. People are figuring out, and make no mistake, there is another revolution occurring in America. So I volunteered to go to Iraq. I was against the war before the war. I volunteered because I thought what we were doing was cleaning up our mess and responsible foreign policy and genuinely trying to do good by the Iraqi people. And I had to go for myself to find out that that wasn't the case. But what I was really lacking at the time, the only way I can capture it now is to say that I didn't have a good enough appreciation for that great American tradition of being lied to by our government. Some of us had to find out the hard way. And you know, this is so inspiring to me to see that so many people have suffered at the hands of statism, have suffered at the hands of people trying to oppress and control others and live off the sweat of our labor, and that we can share our stories, that I can come back from Iraq and say, you know what, it's not what you're being told. You know, but to see now that so many people are realizing, and so many people that so many people are hurting, that you guys are waking up for yourselves. I mean, this is incredible. Smart people learn from their mistakes, right? Okay, well, I'm not particularly smart, but really smart people learn from other people's mistakes. And to see that that's what's happening with students in America today, that is inspiring. And the transformation for me was from being someone who was intellectually engaged. The only way I can describe it is to being someone who was spiritually engaged. Because you can look at the world and go, wow, you know, it makes more sense when people are free. You know, people are happier when they are free. People are more prosperous when they are free. And the world just works better. But if you study the issues long enough, if you really get engaged, if you really open your mind and at the same time open your heart to what's going on in this country, you open your heart to the people who are suffering at the hands of statism, you come to see that there are some certain underlying patterns, and you feel this in a different way. You know, it's not about checking boxes and going, okay, well, I believe in this and I believe in that. No, there's something else to this movement. There's something much deeper. There's something spiritual. And that's the only way I can describe the transformation for me, was from someone who was intellectually engaged to someone being spiritually engaged. Because you see that the thing that is underlying all this, when you put all the pieces together, you come to internalize inherent in the human condition a rejection of any aggressive use of force, no matter what the excuse, no matter what the fancy hat or shiny badge used to justify it. And you come to inherently in your heart know that all aggressive use of force and fraud and coercion in society is morally wrong. We're blessed to live in America not because this is the freest country on earth, or because they hate us because of our freedoms, or because we have such a great government maintaining this space within our borders where we have special rights. No, we are blessed to live in America because this country was founded on certain values. This country was founded in revolution, and this first American Revolution was part of that inevitable arc of human history towards a state of perfect liberty. And this revolution that is happening now is the next step in that. And we are blessed to live in a country founded in the values of revolution, values founded in human liberty, where the people that put this country together did so in a way that we have a document, we have a constitution that is not sacred, but is a guiding light for us and gives us the mechanism by which we can have this revolution today peacefully. Because every true revolution is a philosophical revolution first. This is a revolution of hearts and minds and a paradigm shift. And even John Adams said specifically, he knew that the first American Revolution was not the war. The first American Revolution was a change, as he said it, was a change in the hearts and minds and the religious sentiments of the colonists before the war began. That was the real revolution, and that's what's happening today. And we are blessed. We are blessed to be in a situation where we can bring that same commitment. We can live up to what Thomas Jefferson said, a man who expected us to have a revolution every 20 years, say that the tree of liberty must from time to time be watered with the blood of patriots and tyrants. We can bring that same commitment. We can put our lives right up to the line for this cause, and yet we can still have this revolution peacefully. And I firmly believe that the wisdom of our founders will serve us in this day to make sure that we can use the electoral process to have this revolution manifest in reality. So I feel particularly blessed just to be where I am in this movement and to have the support of so many people like you who care so deeply about this cause, who care so deeply about human liberty and understand the implications for this. Because when you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. when you get it, you can't put it out of your mind. And the people who are so engaged in this movement, I mean, I'm running for Congress in New Mexico, and we've had people working for this campaign from all over the country. We had 2 people just show up. I'm running the campaign out of my house. We have the first floor all converted to office space. It's very efficient, very movement budgeted. And we had 2 people come down from Colorado, just show up on my doorstep saying, I'm dropping everything because we want to work for your campaign. Now, the revolution is not about politics. It's about more than that. And you have to consider what is freedom. And you are only as free in a society as your fellow human beings agree to not aggress against you or tolerate aggression against you. And that's not about government policy. That's about the society embracing these values. That's about the paradigm shift. But there's something incredible about using the system against itself, which is what we're doing by being engaged in the electoral process. Because you can go to your neighbor, you can go to their door, you can say, hey, I've got this great new political philosophy and all these new ideas, and I want to tell you all about it. And they're going to slam the door in your face and go back to watching Dancing with the Stars, right? But if you say, hey, here's a Slim Jim, here's a push card, here's a flyer, check out this candidate, it totally changes the dynamic. Because all of a sudden they're going, okay, well, pitch me. I get to vote for this guy or not. What you got, And you can say you're putting the power in their hands. You're giving them the power to decide whether or not they're going to be engaged. They're going to be there with your candidate.